Welcome, welcome, welcome to the most depressing day of the year, according to the mainstream media. Well, myself and Jack have been busy outdoors. You can see I've got my little laptop open there. I did try to upload a video that I shot in various segments on various days to keep you updated with everything I was doing. But it was 21 minutes long and it took about 15 minutes to upload 1% of it. So I abandoned ship. I just cancelled the entire upload. So I thought what I'd do is one long shoot, a raw video. I mean, all my videos are raw anyway. I don't actually edit anything. What I do is I put things together. I don't take things apart or subtract from them. So this is a quick update. It's going to be about 10 minutes long or so of everything that's happening here at Bealtaine Cottage on this most depressing day of the year. Excuse me for laughing. Couldn't resist it. Anyway, I have a little fire going in the stove. Look at that. Ooh, lovely. And I've got the kettle on the stove in the kitchen for tea. I've almost finished my jigsaw. Look at that. I mean, that's something to be really happy about. The boy's getting excited. There's my little hotspot yoke there. That's what I get all my video and photographs and stuff uploaded via, because that gives me access to the internet. What else have I got to tell you about indoors before I go out? I have been very, very busy outdoors. I've been working a lot. Look, I've been filling up the bird feeders this morning. I need to get that back in the porch. Just take you through to the kitchen and show you a little bit of what I'm doing in here. I've got some bananas there which are just starting to go very ripe, so I might make a nice banana bread. In fact, I think that's what I will do. Before I go out with this camera, I'll move that over to close that up a bit. All my hyacinths are now in bloom. And you might ask, is there more light coming in through this window? What's happening outside? Well, I'll take you out there now. By the time I come back in, that kettle will be boiling and just begging me to make a pot of tea. Now I've got my cosy slippers on, so I will be changing those at the door. One of the things I've done, now it's very dark in here, it's actually quite a dark day. Anyway, I've totally rearranged and reorganised my dressing room, but I'll save that for a day when there's lots of sunlight coming in through the window. I'll just change into my little cloggies. My little waterproof cloggies. Okay. So, I've finished working on the arch, the laurel arch. Cut that back by about half on the top. So that was a big bit of work. I've been clearing up lots of the leaves and pulling out some of the dead vegetation around here and around the front. Quite a lot of bird song, huh? And a lot of birds. So, I've been raking out all the dead vegetation and the moss, because there's a lot of moss has taken hold along here. Cutting back a lot of the clematis around the porch because the barge board up here has to be replaced. Now I'm going to need to have a guy in to do that. Someone who knows a little bit about carpentry, the basics anyway. Look at this. Ta-da! Managed to cut back the clematis all around the front of the cottage, because look at what was happening up there. It was actually getting in underneath the roof tiles and pushing out the slates, the roof tiles. So I've cut it back by half. The main stem and the main tributary stems are still in place. I'm now going to grow the clematis as like a skirt all the way around the cottage, as opposed to allowing it to go up and causing damage to the slates. I've temporarily replaced a slate there, you can just see, because that's where all the rain was getting in, on one side of the window in the sitting room. I showed you that in my last video. I've also moved some of the plants from here. So where that Mahonia is now, there was a camellia, and that was in a sort of a half barrel which had rotted. So I had to take the camellia from there. I've moved it round the back. I'm going to be planting that on the edge of the woodland round the back. I've also moved this variegated holly round the front, because again that had begun to root into the ground around the back. There's still some roots there underneath the pot, which I'm going to have to take that holly and plant it out. This is what I've been doing over the past 17 years, as well as getting bare-rooted stock to plant in the land. I've been growing lots and lots of plants from seed or from cuttings or from smaller bought-in plants. I've been growing them in pots. And then when they get too big for the pots, because they seem to do very well in the pots where all the goodness is concentrated, you know, you can really feed them well and bring them on well, then I plant them out. And you know, there's lots of Mahonias around the woodland gardens that you can see that are doing really well. So the main stem now of the clematis looks bare, but you just wait until May and that's just going to romp away, and there's going to be so much growth on it. Now I've also cut back again by about half the pyracantha. You can see the main stem of the pyracantha there. So that's going to be kept down at a more manageable level as well. Does look a bit stark at the moment, but like I say, give it a few months and this is just going to be a gorgeous little kind of a nook round by the front of the cottage. I'm also going to invest in a really good, it's going to cost me an arm and a leg probably, a really good bench for here, not one that's going to rot easily. So that's what I've been doing around the front of the cottage. I just pull out to here, you'll be able to see just the extent of the work. A lot of work, but very enjoyable. Very enjoyable and very satisfying to know that I'm keeping the maintenance of the cottage going, because all this is about maintenance and upkeep. I don't want the cottage falling down around my ears. Now, because of the rain getting in through that slate that was half hanging off, and the other slates which were raised, part of the barge board underneath the guttering has rotted. So I'm going to what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask whoever I can manage to get here to do this bit of woodwork for me. If you can recommend, if there's any local people watching and you can recommend someone, please let me know. But I thought, rather than replace the whole barge board, can you see where that wire's going, which has to be taken out, by the way? There's a hole there. I thought to kind of cut that out, you know, to kind of slice it out and then to put a piece of wood in there. I think that's what they used to do in the old days, you know. Let me just keep an eye on the... Oh my word, it's already gone over 10 minutes. I'm going to try to keep it then to just the next few minutes. So, almost finished the driveway. That's the job I've got to get back on, but I've got to order some more gravel. Let's take this round. Trying to keep the video as short as possible in order to ensure that I can get it uploaded in the least possible time. If I can do it to within an hour, that'll be good. So there we go. I'd move the little bench here onto the veranda. I think I may have told you that in the previous video. So, don't forget everyone that there is a link underneath every video I put out for the Bealtaine Cottage bookshop. There are still calendars available. They are lovely calendars, worth ordering. I know it's taken a bit of time now with the post, the way it is. I've had some emails from grateful subscribers who've said, "Hey, I've got the calendar. It's taken 2.5 months to get here, but I've got it." So that's good news. I know that none of them are coming back to me. None of the books are coming back. The books seem to be getting there faster than the calendars. But anyway, blessings to you all. And if this is the most depressing day of the year, all I can say is I look forward to the rest of it. Blessings.